Ladies and gentlemen, I robbed a bank today. I found the most popular banker in Barbados and I snatched her. No one fought me. She's not struggling, but we got her and we're going to get her to tell us everything we need to know about the world of financing when it comes to real estate. Folks, I introduce you to Miss Sherryann Bourne. Bravo, bravissimo. So Sherryann, the public knows a lot about when it comes to purchase property. They're always told, get their funds and their money in order, okay? So they've got a sense of, okay, let me go to a financial institution and get pre-qualified because I need to know how much money I have in my pocket so I know what to spend. And we often think of purchasing property in terms of the traditional method of getting a mortgage. But I'm sure that financial institutions are big and large for a reason. There must be more ways that we can purchase property, more techniques that we can use. Can you tell me, besides just the traditional, give me $300,000, let me go and buy this house over here, what else can we use? What other tools can we use to get involved in real estate?
Well, I find one of the most unused ways is equity financing.
Okay.
Right? So the concept of equity financing means that you must have an existing property and you have a mortgage on it, but the value of the property is more than the balance on the mortgage.
Okay, sorry to interrupt you, but I'm very simple. Okay, so my brain doesn't operate at the high speed of everybody else. So I want you to break that down for me. It sounded fairly basic, but break it down for me even more.
Okay, so you purchased a property, say, 10 years ago. The property at that time, you paid $300,000.
Right.
10 years later, the balance on the mortgage is, say, $200,000.
Okay.
As we would expect with property, the value has increased. So the property value is probably now maybe $400,000.
Okay.
The balance on your mortgage is $200,000. The property value is $400,000.
Yes.
You now have equity of $200,000.
Oh. Did you know it was that simple? Okay, so what? I can then tell me what I can do with this knowledge if I go to a financial institution. What's the next step? What do I tell them?
So what you do, you go to your financial institution and you say, I want to finance another property and I would like to do this, whether it is an injection amount, using the equity in my existing property. And then you get a valuation report on the existing property, the financial institution, whether it's the existing one you have the mortgage with, or if you're approaching a new one, would get the balance from the mortgage.
Okay.
And they would analyze you in terms of being able to afford the new monthly payment, because obviously, if you're going to use that equity amount, your loan now on the existing house is going to increase. Right?
Correct, yes.
So you must be able to afford, as your salary, the ability to have the existing mortgage as well as the other mortgage. Right?
Okay.
Now, one of the reasons why people do this is that they may be using the second property as an investment property.
Right.
So you may look to rent it as opposed to live in it because you have your first property. But I find that Barbadians are not fully aware of this aspect of financing, that you're literally sitting down on potential cash. Right? So you have the ability to use those funds, and you can use it for more than, you don't have to do property purchase. You can do, if you're sending your children overseas for school, if you're looking for debt consolidation, that equity, because remember, a mortgage is one of the probably the cheapest type of financing you're going to get, right, in terms of interest rate. Right? So you're going to be able to have the flexibility and probably open cash flows. Right? Currently in Barbados, the inflation rate is really high, and a lot of persons are experiencing difficulties. And this type of financing, equity financing, you can use it to restructure your existing debt portfolio and free up cash.
Have you been seeing persons come in requesting this, or is this kind of just ignorance is bliss? We just don't know, so we just don't ask. How often do you see persons leading with that request when they come?
Not much. I find that we as bankers, we have to recommend it. Sometimes we get you to fill out a statement of affairs form or a loan application,
right?
And maybe someone might be coming in for a debt consolidation, or they may be interested in purchasing another property. And the banker now sees that opportunity in the person's statement of affairs, where they now see that equity amount that they can use to get what they want.
All right, so let's not get off of equity yet. I understand the general concept of it. So then when I say I want to use the existing equity, et cetera, I then almost fill out application forms like similar to how it was when I was pursuing a mortgage, or is it something totally different? Do I then have to show evidence of my salary and, as you say, the capacity to pay? What are the similarities and differences?
It's the exact same thing.
Oh.
So it's like as if you're getting, you're remortgaging your home, basically.
Right.
Another thing too that Barbadians may not be aware of is that our legal system is done up in such a way where if you take a charge over the property, there is something called running and continuing. So say, for example, you had a property purchase within the last 5 years.
Okay.
And you paid down your mortgage by, say, 30,000, 40,000. You can go back to the bank and seek that funds back without even having to go and do any legal work, because the mortgage is running and continuing. So you have that space already. The bank already has the security. So although it's very similar, if you're using that running and continuing type of security, the process is going to be quicker and the process is going to be cheaper.
Did y'all know this? I didn't know this. Okay, all right. Knowledge is power. Wow.